Right, okay guys, so I brought you to my yacht. I thought whilst we're here I'll just show you my yacht. I told Charles not to park it here, by the way, you know what I mean? You know, amongst the riff-raff, like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, what do you think, guys? You like my yacht? I don't know. Oh, what did I tell Charles about parking it there? I don't know. Oh dear. Wow, that's a big boat, isn't it? Wow. So, by the way, guys, sorry, just thought I'd let you know, this is St. Catherine's Dock. It's quite, as you might be able to tell, quite a exclusive place, shall we say? You know, the jet-setting, yacht-setting, shall we say, establishment. Still, it's nice though, you know what I mean? Well, mind you, I guess it would be, I mean, considering, you know, it's not exactly going to be a dump, is it? Look at this, by the way, look at this. This sort of roundy building thing. It's even got an old phone box here, look. You still see them about, but they're getting rarer and rarer. Look at this, like a marina thing, eh? What do you think of this, guys? You see what I mean about this area? See, this is just literally, I walked through the thing from Tower Bridge underneath the archway thing and straight through to here. And you know, like I say, you know, it's just a fascinating area. Do you know what I mean? There's so many little nooks and crannies and different things, and do you know what I mean? It's pretty awesome, isn't it? You know what I mean? So. But you know, this is another thing, and I might have mentioned this once before, but I haven't mentioned it for a good while. But you take a look at this, right? Take a look at this, and this has always puzzled me. This is always, now I don't know about other people in other countries, you know, in America and in Canada, where one of my viewers are, and you know, other people who watch my channel, other parts of the world. I think there's a lady in Spain. I think she's in Spain, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But anyway, you know, whatever part of the world you happen to be in and you're watching my video, I don't know if you guys experience this in your countries or not, but you certainly don't get it so much in Manchester, definitely not. Although that might be changing, that might well be changing, do you know what I mean? So I can't say for absolute certainty, but I think perhaps it is to some degree. But the point is, the point I'm trying to make, again very long-windedly as usual, is, like I say, obviously you see this and you see this, look at the huge yacht there. I mean, that's not going to be cheap, is it? Let's be honest about it. This is a pretty exclusive area, do you know what I mean? This is a fairly well-to-do, you know, what's the name, the people that live around here or whatever are not necessarily going to be, you know, people who are, you know, road sweepers or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You know, no disrespect to road sweepers, by the way. I'm just trying to, you know, sort of put it into some kind of context. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, then, you know, like I say, you've got that there, literally stone's throw. You know, literally not even 30 seconds walk from that, and then you come here, and now again, okay. You know, you can argue, well, you know, it might still be an exclusive, what's the name, you know, an estate or whatever. But, you know, you cannot look at this, right? And now, to me, and like I say, okay, fair enough, I could be wrong. But I know for a fact that in certain parts, even where I come from in Brixton, you know, or at least where I live, not where I come from, sorry, I mean where I live. Because I don't actually come from Brixton, I just, you know, I've lived there for the last 6 years, obviously. But, you know, like I said, the point for me is that what really struck me more than anything, and like I say, I found this particularly in the contrast in terms of Brixton and Herne Hill specifically. You walk down that road and on one side you've got council housing estate, and it's clearly a council housing estate, there's no two ways about it, and in fact it is a council housing estate. You don't have to guess, or you don't have to surmise, because that's where the council house offices are actually. So now, okay, now that I've kind of walked onto here, sort of thing, to be quite honest. Now I get a sense that, oh, well, maybe I could be wrong, do you know what I mean? Now that I look at it and get a sense and what have you, it's quite possible my assumption there was incorrect. So, but that doesn't mean to say that, you know, you don't get that in other parts of London, like I say, because, you know, you're walking down that estate, and you know, and the thing is, like, you know, let's say in Tulse particularly, you know, on one side of the road you've got really top of the range, £1 million houses, exclusive, you know, it's gated community sort of thing, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then, like I said, on the opposite side, you've got a council housing estate. Now, you see, in Manchester, where I come from, you don't get that, do you know what I mean? You get clear, defined, rich and poor areas, you know what I mean? You don't have this rubbing shoulders mix sort of thing, do you know what I mean? You just don't get it. You know, you know, there'll be a part of Manchester that's a really inner city, deprived area, rough estates and what have you, and, you know, nowhere within that area will there be any really exclusive, you know, well-to-do houses and estates or whatever sort of thing. It just wouldn't happen. Now, like I say, I think that might be changing slightly now, but for all intents and purposes, that just doesn't happen in Manchester, right? So you've got really clear, defined rich and poor areas, essentially, do you know what I mean? And the rich and poor essentially do not mix or rub shoulders in that sense, yeah? Now, initially, when I saw this through the little passageway here, this little thing here, I did initially think it was like a council housing estate or something of that ilk. Do you know what I mean? But maybe, like I said, maybe I was wrong, because after walking through there and just got a sense of, like, from the way some of the people were dressed and the way they looked, that I was noticing around me. Although that doesn't necessarily mean that they lived there, you know, they may be just passing through for all I know. But, you know, I just, for a moment, I got the impression, again, like I did last time when I first went through Herne Hill and Brixton, like I say, and saw that contrast. You know, I found it really, it was a cultural, for me, it was a cultural shock. Do you know what I mean? It was a real culture shock for me to walk down that road and, like I say, on one side see these £1 million houses, very well-to-do gated community thing, and literally on the other side of the road, literally just, you know, not more than a 2-lane road width sort of thing or whatever, is a council housing estate with very deprived, very poor, very, you know, very much with the inner city sort of troubled housing estate issues going on sort of thing, do you know what I mean, with drugs and whatever and this and the other. And like I said, it completely perplexed me, completely boggled my mind. I was completely flummoxed by it, because it's just so, for me, like I say, a northerner, first coming to London, just completely alien concept, alien idea, completely. Anyway, so, enough of all that ranting and raving on about the differences of rich and poor. Still, you can appreciate the aesthetic beauty of things, do you know what I mean, regardless. Because, I mean, look at that Dickens Inn thing, for instance. I mean, that's gorgeous. You know, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love that wooden frame and the wooden, what's things. That is really, really nice. So, anywho, right, I think the memory on this must be jamming up to the max now, because I've done some really long vlogs in the last hour or so. So, right, I'm definitely going to leave it there. I don't know if there's any room left to do any more. There might be, there might not be. I might do another one. So, in fact, what I'll do is, just before I leave it there, I'll just leave you with the Christmas tree. Look how cool this is. That's a nice Christmas tree, isn't it? How nice is that? Now, definitely not fit in my living room. So, okay, righty-ho. I'll leave you with the Christmas tree, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye for now.